Chapter 8. Capturing the City. Swallowing to many cities. The defenders of each city are simply insufficient. The cities of Yingzhou are slowly being taken back. The amount is too big. If you eat so much at once, naturally, you will not be able to digest it well. However, Sima Changkong spoke. Everyone looked at Sima Changkong together, and then continue to swallow Yingzhou, but can't eat it, so it seems that they are not ready to swallow Yingzhou. Looking at the battle reports from all over, although they recaptured the cities occupied by the Yuan soldiers. However, the Yuan soldiers did not suffer many casualties, but they withdrew. Sima Changkong frowned. The Yuan soldiers were not originally bound for Yingzhou. King Shenwu said in a deep voice. No one in the world dares to say anything if we collect Yingzhou, but if we continue to move south after collecting Yingzhou, that would be an invasion of my great Jin heavenly kingdom. The Great Yuan still swallowed 60 to 70 cities and increased its territory by 1/3, but it is a great victory like never before, Sima Changkong exclaimed. Speaking of minimal casualties, which Legion War has the least casualties nowadays? King Shenwu said in a deep voice. The group of strategists stammered, a slight pang of bitterness. Gao Xianzi's 6th Legion, which fights the fiercest and harvests the most cities, has the fewest casualties, losing no more than 1,000 men per battle. Sima Changkong laughed bitterly. King Shenwu's face was gloomy. 10 times, the crowd of strategists were flabbergasted. The last time had already made the crowd feel shocked, and this time it was actually 10 times more. Report. A guard rushed into the study. The crowd looked towards the guard. An 8th city so soon, entering the depths of the Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty. The strategists looked at King Shenwu. Gao Xianzi didn't say anything. King Shenwu said in a deep voice. No, just led his troops to continue breaking the city. The guard called out. In Yingzhou, with the people's hearts towards Dojin, Gao Xianzi used the hearts to break the city time and time again, and was invincible, going beyond Yingzhou. That's a Yuan army in all directions. He only has 1 million troops. He's completely surrounded. Marshal, quickly summon Gao Xianzi back. Yes, Marshal, let Gao Xianzi collect the city of Yingzhou first as soon as possible. The crowd of strategists shouted. King Shenwu, however, looked at Sima Changkong. Sima Changkong shook his head slightly and said, Your lordships may be right, but when it comes to fighting, Gao Xianzi should be a better insider than your lordships. The group of strategists frowned slightly. King Shenwu nodded, and did not give any orders. True to Sima Changkong's words, he, Gao Xianzi, needs you all to teach him how to fight a war. I'm just a bit surprised. Why is Gao Xianzi bent on a long drive at this time? Northern Expedition City. As Sima Changkong guessed, the Northern Expedition City was not set up in Yingzhou. That is, it was prepared to throw Yingzhou back to Dojin. Dayuan swallowed 60 or 70 cities outside of Yingzhou, plus half of Yingzhou. There are more than 100 cities. If not throw the cities of Yingzhou back to Dakian, this battle will certainly lead to the end of the world. Just everything was done very covertly. Yingzhou cities lost so quickly. There was a big formation guarding it, and 1/3 of Yingzhou's cities were lost. The Grand Marshal of the Northern Expedition coldly said, Yes, among them, the other party's 6th Legion is even more raw. The news came that it seems to have reached the border of Yingzhou and crossed the border to go deeper. A subordinate respectfully said, The 6th Legion. Mr. Mo's news did not say that this 6th Legion is very powerful. The Marshal frowned. Grand Marshal, my subordinate requests a battle to leave this 6th Legion behind completely. Subordinate, please fight. Entering the area of our multiple armies, it will be hard to escape. My humble servant invites to fight. A host of generals had asked for battle. The Marshal, however, frowned slightly and shook his head. No, HMM. The war can only be controlled in Yingzhou. We can't let it go off the rails. The 6th Legion. It must be fought. But it must not be extinguished. Just fight them back to Yingzhou. Must not be allowed to be extinguished within it. The marshal said in a deep voice. Huh, why? Because the war can only be in Yingzhou. If we overthrow this 6th Legion, we will inevitably drag the battlefield over. The Grand Marshal said in a deep voice. There was a moment of silence and the crowd nodded. My 6th Legion is responsible for besieging Dalkion's 6th Legion. Fight them back, and if you really can't fight them back, drag them down for me. The Grand Marshal said in a deep voice. Yes. Although the news of the 10 dried corpses in Qinglu City had spread out, it would be some time before it reached North Fault City and the Great Yuan Dynasty capital. And during this time, Guhai wouldn't give the two parties a chance to have a reaction. On the 4th day of the opening of the probe, help, help, help. With a cry, a wretched man ran in terror from outside the city. What's wrong? Someone at the city gates was puzzled. Vampires, vampires, Zainan village. Zainan village is being sucked by vampires all over, all dead, all dead. The person rushed into the city in a panic. This person was naturally arranged by Guhai, but it was the arranged son of a family that had defected to Guhai, fleeing all the way into the city in a hurry. And after attracting the attention of countless people, he fell to his knees at the entrance of that family. A single shout, but it made the surrounding dozen or so streets hear it clearly. The people waited eagerly for news, but there was no news. Really no news. The person who cried out for help entered that family gate and never appeared again. Many of the people showed curiosity. Go to investigate. Gentlemen, disperse, disperse. Nothing happened. That family head came out to dispel the rumors. The city lord's mansion was also extremely sensitive and sent people to inquire. All of you officials are overly concerned. There are no vampires. No, there really isn't. Don't worry. We won't mess around. That family shouted one after another. The officials who came to poke around frowned slightly and left as well. The hearts of the surrounding people, however, were clouded, not knowing what was going on. Just when they were about to forget about it, this family was filled with fog that night, and the next day, they all disappeared. The family was in disarray, as if they had been through a great war, and there was blood everywhere. The whole family, all suddenly evaporated in general. Evil things, so that the people who were ready to forget yesterday's events suddenly revealed a burst of panic. All kinds of speculation came out. Where is the Zhong family? How did they disappear overnight? Was the whole family slaughtered? Vampire. Could it be vampires again? I went to Jianan village last night, and like the Zhong family, everyone in Jianan village has disappeared. The more the people traveled through the evil, although there was no evidence, but the spearheads all pointed to vampires. Vampires destroyed the bodies. Then where are the Jianan village people? Where's the Zhong family? Maybe they went on a trip. Bah, your family went on a trip like this. Under Guhai's push, although there wasn't any conflict with the officials, but, one by one, the people's hearts were covered with a layer of cloudy fog. The people didn't cause any trouble, and the city lord didn't care about such things anymore. The next day, help or homeowner, Zhongxi village, was eaten by vampires all. They held a blood-sucking conference last night. Homeowner, you can give us all the village revenge. Who? A lot of vampires. I hid in the hut all night. Before I escaped, homeowner, Zhongxi village can be all the homeowner's property or. The same thing happened again. Yesterday was the Zhong family. Today is the Li family. Originally wanted to put things to rest. But on the third day, the Li family staged the same scene as the Zhong family, overnight, washed clean with blood, all gone. People are gone. A kind of white terror enveloped the whole city. Your Majesty, 100 million people in the city. But this propaganda method, but only a small portion of people know all, and it's all kept secret, so it's just gossip for others to hear. Tang Chu frowned. Will this kind of inexplicable disappearance of people fall on my head one day? Living here themselves, they were just being bred, until the day of fattening up, being eaten by them. King Lu City, as if it was a demonic cave, those demons imprisoned us. Fear pervades everyone. Many people want to escape from Qingluo City. They don't want to stay here anymore, but their families have lived here for generations, so they just walk away. Some people left Qinglu City in fear, and just as they left, they were misunderstood by those around them as having been eaten by vampires. The panic continued. No. Deng Zhong went to visit the prison the day before yesterday, and she's gone. I think my cousin went to visit the prison and came back to say everything was fine inside, and no one was there. No one. In the past 10 days, over 1,000 people visited the prison, right? Where are they? Anyone else come forward? The people who visited the prison early on had all disappeared. It was as if they had evaporated. This type of crying, Guhai arranged dozens of them all over the city. Dayuan Imperial Dynasty, this is a kingdom of devils. If only the divine foothills Imperial Dynasty was still around. If only the Emperor was still around. A wave of panic and resentment built up, but the people's hearts suddenly turned impatient. Drive the devil out of King Lu City. Drive the devil out. Someone shouted. We don't want to be eaten. Drive the devil out. Devil, get out of King Lu City. Some shouts came from all directions. The people who were originally fearful, but they slowly became eager. Under Guhai's arrangement, some clans sent people out to parade the streets, shouting slogans. At once, it attracted the attention of the entire city. City Lord's mansion. The City Lord's face was gloomy. What's going on? Didn't you guys say there's no problem? Where are those people? It's a conspiracy, City Lord, a group of subordinates anxiously said. HMPH. The City Lord snorted coldly with a flutter of his sleeve. Sure enough, a few blocks away, a group of Yuan soldiers rushed towards the parade of people to arrest them. Vampires are killing people. I'll fight you. Vampires are killing people again. Kill them and get out of King Lu City. Amidst the group of people shouting, interspersed with experts from the former Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, sent by Guhai, they suddenly charged with the Yuan soldiers. Boom! Among the Yuan soldiers, there were vampires among them, who were immediately beaten up and turned into 100 blood-sucking bats and fled. Don't give them a chance to escape. It's that vampire. Kill him. The city was in chaos. Some places were even set on fire. The whole city was in chaos. The prisoner army prison is even more problem-free and can be given to anyone to monitor. The city lord's voice traveled throughout the city. He lied. Where are the military families? They were all killed by them. Driving the demons out of the city. Today, if we don't drive the devil out, tomorrow we'll be sucked by the devil's blood. Gentlemen, let's drive the devil out together. The city was in chaos. The Yuan soldiers and the people fought, but of course, the ones who fought at the head among the people were those clans that were loyal to Guhai. The city lord looked at the chaos in the city, his face gloomy. City lord, what should we do? We must quickly suppress and catch the troublemakers, the city lord said in a cold voice. Yes, a large number of Yuan troops were about to move out. Just at this moment, a sound of war drums came steeply from outside the city. Dang, dang, dang. The sound of war drums rose, and the city lord's face changed. The sound of war drums. Someone is attacking the city. Not good. Defend the city with all your might. The city lord's face deeply changed. Dayuan dog traitors, return my King Lu city. Divine Lu people, don't be afraid. We're here, following the old emperor's will. Even if the emperor dies, we can't let the Divine Lu people fall into the devil's hands. I'm a Lushi man. We're here to break the city. Who's going to help me? Roar. A loud roar resounded outside the city. The Lushi man, that kind voice, seemed to instantly warm all the people in their impatience and fear. The emperor sent someone to save us. The Foshi people have broken through the city. The Foshi people are here. Brothers, follow me and open the city gates. Let the Foshi people come in and exterminate the devil. Go open the city gates, quick. Under the encouragement of some clans arranged by Guhai, a large number of people immediately rushed towards the 4 city gates. Stop them, bastards, stop them, the city lord shouted at once. It wasn't just about fending off external enemies anymore. There was also internal unrest among the people in the city, with internal and external troubles. In an instant, the situation turned incomparably worse. Ah, the devil killed my brother. The devil killed my brother. Ah, kill the devil, kill the vampire. As long as the people are dead or injured one person, the people's grievances are skyrocketed tenfold in general. This kind of Yuan soldier who kills the people, can he command us? If we don't drive the devils away now, wait for them to slowly eat us later. Devil, I'll fight you. Outside the city foothills, stone people stormed the city gates. Inside the city, the people rushed the Yuan soldiers. For a while, it was chaos. Although there were 800,000 Yuan soldiers stationed in the city, the people were in the hundreds of millions. In the twinkling of an eye, they were drowned in the crowd. The city lord anxiously stood on top of the city tower. Indeed, he saw that there were 2 sharks attacking the city in the south of the city. Only 2. In the distance, the fog rolled in, and it was impossible to see how many armies were in the fog. Only the sound of battle drums could be heard. Inside the city, 800,000 Yuan soldiers, at the moment, but isolated. If they do not have a hard hand, it is just, once they do not have a hard hand, they will immediately be killed by the people. Of course, this group of people, also mixed with a large number of experts brought by Guhai from Chaoj City, are the former elite of the Shen Lu dynasty. At this moment, with the activities in the city, but let 800,000 Yuan soldiers retreat. The people's grievances are boiling. When the people are angry, what's the use of having more official soldiers? At this moment, Guhai and his party had arrived at the place of the prisoner army prison. Formation, Guhai said in a deep voice. Boom. The spirit stones buried around the area instantly gave Guhai a 28 heaven and earth, vertical and horizontal formation, encircling the prisoner army prison. Break. Guhai let out a loud shout. The great formation condensed out the cloud beast Xiongyu, and the square heavenly painted halberd chopped down with a roar. Boom. At once, it broke through the prison of captivity. Bold. What kind of person? At once, a large number of prison guards rushed out. HMPH. Xiongyu's square heavenly painted halberd swung out. The Yuanying Grom Daiyuan generals were instantly chopped by Xiongyu. Xiongyu continued to charge forward. As for the others with weak cultivation, a large number of strong men also stood behind Guhai. In the twinkling of an eye, all of them were restrained. In the outside world, the city lord also discovered the fog at the prisoner army prison. Not good. Someone is robbing the prison. Quick, 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 the city lord yelled. But now, the entire city's Yuan army was being rushed by the people, and the occasional one that ran out was instantly entangled. There was simply no way to support the prison. 28 heaven and earth vertical formation. Even if someone rushes in, the number is limited, and Xiongyu is more than capable of dealing with it. In the prison, the countless military prisoners were however in a daze. The former King Lu city lord and a group of former generals came forward. Looking at Guhai, their expressions were complicated for a while. Why don't you all pay your respects to the emperor? A family head of a family called out. As soon as that family head called out, the soldiers of his family's sons and daughters immediately answered and droned. Pay respects to the emperor. Greetings to the emperor. A large number of generals had long since received the news and also paid their respects. The lord of King Lu's city frowned and also paid his respects. Greetings to the Emperor. King Lu's City Lord. Excuse yourself. Gu Hai helped up King Lu's City Lord. Huang Fu Chaoj in the past has been entrusted to me. Must save you out. Today, I complete the commitment to Huang Fu Chaoj. I Gu Hai guarantee. Do not force all of you. All of you go out and return to their respective positions 10 years later. If you feel that I am not worthy of controlling the King Lu city, I put the King Lu city self-selected country into. Will never block, Gu Hai shouted. Emperor Huang Fu's will. Emperor Huang Fu didn't forget us even before he died. Countless generals suddenly had slightly red eyes. Pay respects to the Emperor. A large number of generals paid their respects again at once. The relationship between Gu Hai and Huang Fu Chaoj was known to nearly everyone in King Lu City, and now that Gu Hai had adhered to Huang Fu Chaoj's will to save everyone from going out. Guard the people of King Lu and repel the violent Yuan soldiers, Gu Hai shouted. What? Yuan dogs are bullying and killing the people of King Lu. Assholes, quick, quick, unseal me. I'll go kill them. A large number of lightning attraction platforms were set up, and one by one, the King Lu generals were quickly unsealed. Kill the Yuan dog. Millions of King Lu city generals went out of the large formation to kill them, just in time to meet a group of wretched Yuan troops head-on. Kill, boom. The people's grievances boiled over, and the millions of Green Foal's army came out of the trap, instantly killing the Yuan soldiers and leaving them in disarray. The sound of war drums outside and the shouts of the four sharks, moreover, gave the people and generals in the city countless confidence to overcome all fears. Da Yuan's city lord, blankly looking at everything in all directions. It's over. It's over. Millions of troops out of the trap. Countless people's resentment out of the attack. 800,000 Yuan soldiers dead and wounded, in the haste to drive a flying boat to the outside world to escape. 4 gates outside the city. Each to foothills stone people broke the city, and the rear fog area. The city lord of Dayuan also saw clearly as he fled for his life. Where was there any large army? Only a few dozen people beating drums. Only this many people. No, shoo. As the city lord cried out in sorrow and hatred, the flying boat had already fled a long distance away. After a civil unrest, Gu Hai quickly arranged for people to treat the injured, and for all the injured people and generals, a large amount of spirit stones were given to appease them. For all the losses of the people, Gu Hai quickly made compensation. The people's grievances slowly dispersed. The Lushi people entered the city. The number was small, but it gave the people of the city a familiar feeling. The divine foothills imperial dynasty had come to retake the city, but Emperor Huang Fu had perished, and countless people lost their heads once again, turning their heads to look in the direction of the city lord's mansion. Great Han Dynasty, the ancient sea. This time, the people who drove away the great Yuan imperial dynasty into the great Han Dynasty under, right? The voice was instantly spread throughout the city through the sound amplification device, and I was used throughout instead of I, hoping to make the people recognize it more quickly. Wow. The city was but a murmur. What Gu Hai said was true. Really nothing will change. Of course, today I'm also enacting one, the only new city rule. Gu Hai opened his mouth. HMM. Many of the people frowned as they looked towards the floating island of the city lord's mansion. Just now, he said that nothing would remain the same, and now he's changed. During these 10 years, all the proceeds from taxes do not need to be submitted to the treasury. They will all be used for people's livelihood, for building some public cultivation areas covered by formations, for transforming the poor living environment of some poor people, for opening schoolhouses, and for free initiation and teaching for young children. All accounts, all of them will be made public for all of you to view at any time. Gu Hai spoke once again. Many thanks, Emperor, Emperor, Emperor. Some of the poor people said excitedly, "Many thanks, Emperor, 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 many thanks, Your Majesty." Although the shouting was still unfamiliar, but countless people shouted with gratitude. Taxes are all used for livelihood construction. This was a superb gift to the people. Guhai said that he would give back to the people, and at this moment he had done it. Standing on top of the floating island of the city lord's mansion, Guhai revealed a light smile. Finally, King Lu's city had returned. Not only King Lu's city, Guhai believed that the other 11 cities and pools, at this moment, were also carrying out almost the same thing. Right to the side stood the old city lord of King Lu City. Great Han Dynasty, the First Legion. I wonder which general is it? Can I recognize it? King Lu's city lord was puzzled. The First Legion chief, Gao Xianzi. Guhai laughed.